Hey, what up everybody, I'm Cynical, and this is Dark Souls Remastered on PS4. And before we get started, I just want to say that I cut off like 2 minutes of the front of this video because all I was doing is kindling bonfire right here, and I didn't want to, I went over a little bit of the hour mark, so I like to show you guys everything. So I just wanted to let you know that. It was just, look at the bonfire, how big it is. I was just taking humanities and kindling bonfire for like 2 minutes. I think that's all I did, really. So, just wanted to let you know that. So, full disclosure. What we're gonna do here in, I think it's part 6 now. We are in the depths. Last time we beat the Capra Demon, we pooped him. We threw the dung pies over the wall and killed him with toxicity. Like Britney Spears. And so this time we are in the depths. We're trying to go for our Grim Reaper Pyromancy build. We have the scythe. We got it from the catacombs. I'm going right now to get some charcoal pine resin and see what everybody has to say in the Firelink Shrine. And we're going to get the Pyromancer in this part. We're going to free Laurentius. I can't say anything right. The Pyromancer guy. And, yeah, start building our Pyromancer, our Grim Reaper Pyromancer. Black robe, hood, skeleton face, pyromancy, scythe, on fire, all that good stuff. What we're going for. So right now, in the last video, I rushed to the bonfire in the depths. So we're going to head backwards a little bit, kill the butchers, free the pyromancer, go get some charcoal pine resin, talk to people at Firelink Shrine, and then head back and go forward in the depths and go face the gaping dragon, get everything down in the bottom of the depths where all the basilisks are and stuff, where you can get cursed, do all that stuff. But here's the first butcher. They're kind of tough sometimes, it depends. Got the parry there. Sometimes their parry is really easy, and when they do that, it's not. Because I parried there and he still squished me into the ground. Because you can't parry that. There's some moves you can't parry. You'll figure that out, especially in like PvP. Like, you won't see me doing a lot of PvP in this game because I don't have PS Plus right now. Or else I would love to. I've never been able to PvP in this game specifically. I've PvP'd in Dark Souls 2, I've PvP'd in Dark Souls 3, I've PvP'd in Bloodborne, but Dark Souls 1, I've never done it. And I would love to. I would love to go back in time when this game was in its heyday and it first came out, maybe a month or two after it was released.
Over here. Please, you must help me.
Oh, that would be awesome to get invaded and stuff and do PvP on this game back then. Alright, let's free Laurentius. Just make sure not to hit him. You don't want to lose him as a vendor, as a pyromancy vendor. The way you don't hit him is you roll through the barrel instead of striking it with a weapon. If you want to play it super safe, just take your whole weapon off and just roll.
Thank you. I would have been a supper without you. Been eaten alive. I shudder to think. Thank you. Thank you dearly. I am Laurentius. Or the Great Swan. I will not forget my debt to you.
Her supper.
Oh, hello there. I'm fine, thanks to you. Oh, hello.
That's all he says. He goes back to Firelink Shrine. But isn't that interesting? I would have been her supper. Her. H-E-R. So who's the woman? Whose supper would he have been? Is he talking about... Most people think he's talking about the butchers, and that the butchers are female. And you can kind of tell by their chest area that they may have female parts. Some people think that that's the case, that the butchers are female. I mean, take a look at Mildred. She's a butcher, right? And she's female. Her name is Mildred. Maybe he's talking about her? So he's either talking about the butchers here. You know, there's 2 or 3 of them here. Or he's talking about Mildred, the butcher that's in Blight Town, but maybe she's like the leader of these butchers, I don't know. Or he could be talking about the gaping dragon. Is that a female dragon? I don't know. Or maybe even Quelaag, if you want to go that far down. But who knows? I like to think maybe he's talking about, I guess the butchers, since they're in the closest proximity. And maybe the butchers, at least one of them's female. I mean, they don't all have to be female just because one is. I mean, maybe this one right here is female. The one at the, that's cooking over here with the fire and all that. Maybe that one's female, the other ones are male. Maybe they're all female. Maybe they're all male. I don't know. I mean, does this thing have boobies? It doesn't look like it to me. It looks like a man with big muscles and a gut, like a cook. Does this look like a woman to you? Just look at these butchers. All I see is flat chest, open back, big muscles, big manly muscles. Like, women can definitely have big muscles. I will not deny that. But they're usually not shaped like that. Women usually have different muscle tone. I don't know how to describe it, but men's muscles like bulge out more, and women's muscles are more like long. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not an expert in muscles. But to me that looks like a man. So then what do we, then what? Who is her? Who's her? I don't know. Ooh, I got staggered there by a dog. Watch this crap. I get trapped. I'm kinda happy that I die in every one of these videos. It just makes it, you know. And I get jumped from behind, trapped again, die and fall in the water. So we died, wasted some time, but no big deal. We killed a butcher. We freed the wrenches. So we kindled the bonfire. We did some things. We got some things done. The only time dying is terrible is when you get nothing done, and then you lose your stain, and then you just get in like a cycle of death, or you lose your patience. That's the only time dying is bad. Otherwise, if you get something done, and then you head back, you get your stain, you get something else done, and then you die again, and you get your stain, and you get something else done, as long as you keep on getting things done, then it's all good. But while we're running back, I know not a lot of percent of my channel watch these videos, but the comments, for some reason, I haven't been getting all the notifications for all the comments. Like, I used to get every time somebody would comment, unless it was spam or like offensive, I would get notified that the person commented. And these days, I guess maybe because there's a certain amount now, I'm only getting like half of them, maybe 60-70% of them, and then 25 to 50% of them are going into the I don't know, they're just not giving me notifications, so then I don't see them at all unless I go looking for them. And by looking for them, I don't mean like I have to go to each video and search for comments I haven't responded to. There's a special screen you go to, and like community comments, and then it lets you see like what comments have I not responded to. So it's pretty nice, but it's still an extra step on top of, like, usually I get a notification, I click on the notification, it takes me straight to the comment, then I respond to it. Now it's like doing that half the time, and then the other half I have to go to this special community tab. I don't know. So if you don't get a response to your comment, just know that it probably just didn't notify me. So I'll get to it. And if I don't get to it after like a week or so, then send another one, because I've noticed comments before and then I went looking for them later and I couldn't find them. Like, I assume that you delete them, but maybe I'm just not finding them. I don't know. And then a lot of them go into spam for some reason. Like, if the same person comments more than 2 or 3 times, they go into spam, and then I have to, like, I don't care, and keep doing that, please. Like, it's not a problem at all. I just go into spam and I release all your comments. But that's like another extra step for some reason. And then the offensive ones, I don't get very many of those. I mean, I had a guy tell me that I was offensive and that I'm negative, but you know, I appreciate that sometimes. That's constructive criticism, and I'll take it. As long as you're not like really mean about it, it's fine with me. Like if you're just pointing something out, like, hey, you know, this was offensive, or hey, you're pretty negative, you should consider being more positive. Like, I can take that. I could take constructive criticism, smart. Like, I can tell this person was smart. I could tell this person was smart and he just had my best interests in heart. And that is constructive criticism. If it's a dummy that is just trying to be mean, that is not constructive criticism. So, looks like we're getting our souls back here. I had to play it very carefully. I'm gonna wear this sack. This sack is awesome. Blood-stained patchwork sack by the undead man-eating cook lurking in the depths. 2 eye holes have been haphazardly cut out. It is unexpectedly soft and comfortable to wear, but is probably near meaningless in terms of defense. Let me read that first part. Looks like blood-stained patchwork sack by the undead man-eating cook. What? Okay. So that's a bad grammar or a typo or something. Looks like they left a whole word out. Made by? They left out made, I think. Made by. But I'm gonna wear this. I don't care if it has AC or nothing. It just looks cool. We're going for this kind of style anyway, so might as well wear it. Large ember. Ember required for weapon ascension. A large, high-quality ember handled by the blacksmiths of Astora. Ascension for +5 standard weapon allows reinforcement to +10. Also can ascend +5 standard weapon to raw weapon. Raw weapon can be reinforced to +5. So this is what you give to Andre, so you can go from +5 to +10. And I need to do that. This reminded me. I forgot this was here. Like, I knew it was there. I wouldn't have missed it. But I just wasn't thinking about it. And I haven't upgraded my scythe at all. I've been more thinking about leveling up dexterity. But you also should upgrade your weapon. Like, do both. I mean, dexterity will get you more things across the board, because then you can use different weapons and get more out of it. But upgrading the weapon is something you shouldn't forget about either. Like, since I'm planning on using this weapon the whole time, unless I find like another cool scythe, maybe, but it's 90% chance I'm using this thing the whole time, then I'm gonna level it up to +10. First thing you should do is level up your weapon to +10. As long as you're sure you're gonna use it the whole time, you know, level it up all the way. Then you can start doing your armor and shields and whatnot, but make sure whatever you're doing, you're gonna use for a long time. You're not just gonna replace it. I mean, you can do +1, +2, +3 on a lot of stuff, and it'd be fine to switch it out. But once you start getting up into +6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you don't want to just be doing that without thinking about it ahead of time. Like, am I going to be using this weapon for at least half the game? And even then, you want to think about, you don't want to waste like a Titanite slab, which I know is hard to get, so I'm sure you wouldn't waste it. But even chunks you shouldn't waste, because there's only so many you can get, and there's probably just enough to level up all your stuff, and then like another maybe 2 weapons maybe in the whole game, unless you farm them, which I can show you how to do that later. And you can even farm slabs, I think, on the dark wraiths, unless they change that. Which I hope they didn't, because we're probably going to do a little bit of that at least.
There you are, dearie. I have most.
What other things did I want to talk about? Why am I here? I'm buying charcoal pine resin, so that's why I came back this far, and I want to go to Firelink Shrine and see if they have any new dialogue, which there is new dialogue, so it's not a waste of time, trust me. It's not exactly a good use of time, but it's not a waste of time. buy some arrows with the rest of my souls, you know? If you wanna try to get them down to 0, buy some arrows.
Come to this, don't you?
She doesn't say anything new, so
Come again.
let's leave. And I'm not going for all dialogues or anything, I just, you know, if I know I can get it, I'm gonna try to get it. Type thing. Like, I'm going out of my way a little bit here, by like 5 minutes, so sorry. Sorry if you don't care about dialogues, but I'm also going to visit the Pyromancer to get the Pyromancy Glove and some spells, so it's not a huge waste. So there's multiple things I'm doing. I'm not just getting conversation points. Like, our Pyromancer should be back here now. We can get some spells. We can get a Pyromancy Glove. So why not head back before this next boss and grab it? Especially if that's our build. Going for the Pyromancy and the Scythe, mainly. And I can't decide. I can never decide between Havel's Ring and the Dark Wood Grain Ring. Because you gotta wear the Ring of Favor and Protection. I mean, I guess eventually, if you level up enough, you don't have to wear it. You could level up your stats so high that you can take off that ring and not care.
And pray that you...
He prays that we never go hollow. I think we need to put a point in intelligence to talk to him.
How did that old man make it back? Unexpected. But I suppose stranger things have happened.
So that's new.
Hmm? I'm not...
So one piece of new dialogue right there. But then we have this whole new NPC right
so
here.
You made it out? Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my Pyromancy of the Great Swamp, so I can usually manage with a bit of care. Oh yeah, by the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you out. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
Make sure you answer no here, not yes.
Yeah, wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this.
He's asking you if you think it's unsavory.
Flame from the Great Swamp. Now you're a fully fledged pyromancer. Why, let's get started right now.
So you want to say no. You don't think it's unsavory.
Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time. Pyromancy has a, well, rather primitive aspect to it. It meshes poorly with advanced culture, and pyromancers are considered rather unsavory, which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing.
Mostly going for
Pyromancer's
fashion
flame is
souls.
part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. When I gave you that flame, I gave you a part of myself. Please take good care of it. A pyromancer's flame.
Alright, done with his dialogue. Want to purchase stuff.
Goodbye.
Need to
Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go alone.
need to smash hard souls. Spent too many at Malentia. I think that's her name. Buying
Oh, hello. I'm pleased to see you safe, as always. If you provide the materials, I can teach you pyromancy.
charcoal pine resin. Put this controller down so I don't mess up the audio. Let's buy combustion. It gives you the most casts. It's one of the weaker pyromancies. And fireball also. but it'll give you the most bang for your buck starting out. So I'm gonna go ahead and ascend this, even though I can't wear it yet. I could wear it, but I don't have any attunement slots, and I didn't leave myself enough souls to get an attunement slot, because I need to level up my attunement by 2 or 3 to even get a slot. I thought you started with at least 1, but I guess not. Looking for Patches here, don't see him yet. Don't know when he comes. I think it's after the Tomb of Giants, where he pushes you in. Right now he's probably in the Tomb of Giants. Then Petrus,
Oh, you. Have you seen Milady? Oh, blast, where might she be? And would she be safe?
you know exactly where she is, bro.
Oh, I'm sometimes...
He knows where she is. He left her. He left her in the catacombs or the Tomb of the Giants. And then Patches pushes them into the pit. And then her dudes turn hollow. And she's screwed. And it's all his fault for being a wimp. If he would have stayed with them, maybe they could have, you know, maybe he could have convinced them not to trust Patches or something. Trying to equip this, but standard pyromancy of the Great Swamp, hurl fireball. The fire damage caused by fireballs makes them effective against corporeal beasts and undead who by nature fear flame. Corporeal. Elementary pyromancy. Create powerful flame in hand. One of the most basic pyromancies. For this very reason, the flame thus created is fierce. These words I like never see before. I've seen them, I've heard them, you know what I mean? You just don't read them very often. Corporeal. Weapon type pyromancy, flame attack type strike, flame medium used by Great Swamp pyromancers. Pyromancers arouse this flame to produce various fire arts. Equip pyromancer flame to produce pyromancy. Attune pyromancies from a scroll at bonfire. Most pyromancies have limited number of uses. Corporeal. I'm sure you love that. I'm sure everybody loves when I do that. I repeat the same word over and over to try to figure out how to say it. I think I'm just checking my time here, maybe. Trying to attune this as well. And I need like 20,000 souls to be able to attune those spells, so looks like we're not going to be using pyromancy on the boss. Instead we'll use our scythe and our resins and our solaire. Alright, what now? Okay, so take up the dung pies. We're not going to need those anymore, I don't think. Put on the charcoal pine resin. Put on the throwing knives, I think. We should have put on the golden pine resin. But hindsight's 20/20. And now we still have to go backwards a little bit. Because there's one drop off that we didn't do yet. Behind where the butcher is standing, behind the table and everything, where the dog is and the chest is, there's a secret area you can drop down to put yourself above the giant rat. So we need to head back and do that, and that's the last thing, and then we're heading forward towards the boss. So hopefully this is quick. There's no more butchers, we killed them all. So all we have to deal with is dogs and hollows. Which there's quite a few still. You can't get a backstab in this water. It's just too slow. Unless you have the rusty iron ring. Should be nice. Maybe you should go and do the asylum before this. I don't know. Trapped sent me a progression guide, and what changed between Dark Souls Vanilla and Dark Souls Remastered. So I still haven't got to read those yet, but I want to. So thank you, Trapped, for sending those to me, and I'm gonna read them as soon as I have some time, and then I'll be able to tell you guys what changed from Vanilla to Remastered, and what's the progression suggestion. Because Rusty Iron Ring would be useful here, but it would also be useful in Blighttown, and those are the two spots that'd be most useful. So maybe we should go there next. Maybe I should have already went there. I just remember that boss fight being kind of hard back in the day, like for early in the game. Try to do a jumping attack. For some reason I was having trouble with my jumping attacks in this part. Don't know why. Maybe it's my controller, maybe it's just me. But I still got a cool plunge attack there with a R1 on the front of it. Was pretty good looking. So no big deal. Look at this thing's eyeballs. Ooh, I just cut it out, dude. I think I just cut his eyeball out. It looked like bulging. Cool, my controller is dying at the worst time. I think that matters too. I'll see how far we can get though, and then I'll have to charge it for a minute and then resume. We're about halfway through. Sewer chamber key. Key to the sewer chamber in the depths. In any community, a few bad apples are sure to exhibit insatiable greed. If they were turned undead and banished to the depths, would they reconsider their ways? Use this key to see for yourself. I'm not sure exactly what door that opens. I think it's back to the bonfire. Let's get some more stuff. We got the spider shield. That helps with toxic in Blighttown. So a lot of this game is based on like stuff you need that will help you in the next area. So Spider Shield helps you in Blighttown. Rusty Iron Ring helps you here and Blighttown. Divine Weapons help you in the Catacombs. Killing Sif helps you in New Londo to fight the kings. Stuff like that. Being cursed helps you go to New Londo. Having cursed weapon or whatever. Like, as far as going to the catacombs, should you do that before or after you go to Anor Londo? Because, in my opinion, if you're going to go through the catacombs, why would you not go through the Tomb of the Giants also? So why would you not wait for the fog walls to be down, the orange walls, fog? Why wouldn't you wait till then so you can do the whole thing, go all the way to Nido? Like, why would you go all the way to Pinwheel, come back out, and then go all the way back to Pinwheel, and then all the way to Nido? Doesn't make sense to me. Unless you can teleport there, which you might be able to, I can't remember. But that's one thing they did to this game early on. Like, it used to be, you could only teleport to select bonfires. Like, super select. And then they added on to it. And made it easier and easier. Like, they did make this game slightly easier as time went by. But then they took out things like the forest cheese soul farming power level. So they took some things out, they added some things in, they made some things easier, they made some things a little bit harder. The only bad thing about this scythe is like clanking off walls and ceilings. I was having a little bit of trouble down here, but not as much as I thought I would. I thought I would have a lot more trouble than this, but you just gotta kind of tilt a certain way or use a certain attack. If one's not working, switch to the other one and maybe tilt a little bit to the left or right and you'll be fine. Doesn't clank off every single wall every single time. So these rats drop humanity. If you ever wanted to farm humanity, this is like the best spot to do it before like the Tomb of the Giants. So the depths right here, these rats that I just killed, you would go kill those like 4 rats in that one corner where the great axe was. Then you would kill the one that jumps out of the box, and then you would kill all the 3 ones down under the stairs, and then you would just keep doing that. You go back to the bonfire, repeat, do it again. Go back to the bonfire, repeat, do it again. But who is the she that the pyromancer was talking about? The her. He's buffing them up right now. Look at that. Buffing them up. He got it off. Now those rats are buffed. But I'm going to shoot him in his eye hole. I'm going to shoot arrows up his nose until he dies. I ran out of arrows. Got to switch to my poison. But it gets the job done. Right in the face. Right in the face. Kind of like his outfit. The channeler. And the channeler's trident. Too bad we didn't get one of those. That'd be a cool weapon to use for a playthrough. Channeler's trident. Never thought of that before. That'd be great. I need to do that. Someone actually knocking on my door? It better not be. It's still early. Commentary. Sorry, I think someone might be knocking on my door. Maybe not then. Uh-oh. Well, controller's dying, people knocking on doors, people calling on my phone. Some people said they like that stuff. I don't know why. Maybe just because it's more like real life. Like, you know, who is this person? Oh, Amazon. That's cool. Must have got a package. So I might have to stop this soon. My controller's dying anyway, but I can always finish up later. I'm about halfway through. Oh yeah, some people said they like the real life type background noises, I guess. And that's fine with me. I mean, I can include them. But definitely stop if I know it's coming, you know. Yeah, it was somebody knocking. So now that woke up everybody in the house. And this is probably going to be more difficult going forward. Yeah. Of course it was a package for me. And it's my fault. But, it wasn't supposed to come till Monday. And it's Saturday. Which is a good thing. Like, I'm not complaining. I need it. I need the thing. It's some supplies for my other business. But, my other business. I'm acting like this is a business. No. I mean, maybe one day. But, yeah. Anyway, yeah. It was Amazon. Package. So, let's try to get this in. The rest of this in. It might have to be in little chunks. And I did get to charge my controller a little bit. But this is probably like 15 to 20 minutes later. Alright, so I'm trying to just get everything down here now. Kind of forget where we were. I think we already fought the rat and slid down. Make sure when you slide down all the way to the left and hold in left, or all the way to the right and hold in right. I didn't get to say that, but if you slide down the middle, you're gonna fall down and land right in the middle of a bunch of basilisks and possibly get cursed. If you do it the way I'm doing it, then you're planning ahead and you know, knowing that there's basilisks down there and you're gonna come at them from a different angle. If you fall down any of the holes or slide down into that hole, it just lands you right in the middle of a bunch of cursing basilisks. And if you get cursed, you lose half your health, and It's terrible. It's really terrible. You instantly die, and then you're cursed, and you lose half your health until you use a purging stone, or talk to an NPC, which is hard to get to. Really hard to get to. But yeah, right here, slide on the left or the right. Don't fall in that hole unless you want to go down and face the Basilisk, which you have to have some big swinging sack to do that. I've done it before, but if you know it's there, you probably shouldn't do it, because you can always get there. You can get there from here, so no big deal. And I already opened the door back to the bonfire with the key. I think that's what the sewer key is for, but I'm not 100%. I mean, that must be what it's for, because it wouldn't just let you open it otherwise, I don't think. And here's Dom Hall, I think his name is.
Aye, Shemai, and good day to you. I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
See what he's got to sell or talk about.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
Okay, the deal with this guy is he wants you to buy things, and then he'll talk to you. And once you beat Quelaag, maybe, he'll go back to Firelink Shrine, and he's like hiding in a special spot where you have to do a jump to get to him, like where we got the Ring of Sacrifice. He'll be sitting there, and he'll tell you more hints as you buy stuff about the game. So we're buying some things from him, some gold pine resin, some arrows. I stocked up on arrows. I don't want to run out.
Well, I'm certain we will make a good trade eventually, so I am willing to share some tips. If you see kindling in the catacombs, use divine weapons. That will repel the reassembling skeletons.
Well, thanks, buddy, but we already did that.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
He'll give you some other information, though. I forget what exactly.
That was a fine trade. I have this funny feeling we'll meet again soon. And we'll make another fine trade, of course.
I thought he would tell you more at this point, but I don't think so. I think he even tells you about Lautrec, and like not to trust him or something, or Petrus. Sorry, getting more texts and things, I know. But here is the way back. I'm trying to funnel these giant rats in here so I don't die to 3 giant rats at the same time. See what I'm talking about with the weapon here? Can't hit them with that move. Tried it way too many times, so then I go for this. I think even that will clank off the walls if you don't tilt to the right a little bit. Or left. So I was tilting to the left a little bit as I was using the R2, so that was working. But the overhand one was not working. It was clanking off the ceiling. And this rat's almost dead. Boom. So they're all dead now, but all 3 tried to jump me at the same time. And it was almost a disaster. But not quite. The running, I love the running two-handed slash. I love that. It looks cool, it works good, and it seems to go a little bit further than it looks like it does. Just the scythe in general has a really long reach. It's nice. But, you know, I'm looking at this body here. Like, look at that crazy body. That must be a cursed... somebody that got cursed. Also, watch out. Right in this area is an NPC invader. As long as you are human. So I was making sure I was human here. And there's other ways you can tell, but I was just really making sure by taking off my helm. Making sure I'm human because I want to get this NPC invader. There's a first Basilisk if you're going the back way. Try to make sure he doesn't see you. You don't want to fight him and the invader. But this is how you get the invader. It's right around this area. But you don't want to face the Basilisk and the Invader at the same time, so I'm gonna head back a little bit. I don't want to get cursed, and this thing was almost blocking my way. I almost got pinched in. But so did he. He couldn't get by. I was trying to do the jumping R2, but did not work. Ooh, look at that. Nice parry. He's wearing all that barbed equipment, so he can bleed you. And that would be also a cool weapon to use for a playthrough. The barbed straight sword, I think it's called. Look at that. Builds up bleed. The only bad part is you have to hit somebody so many times to get that bleed. Should have been a backstab there, not sure why not. Gotta heal up. He's just getting me. I don't know. He's getting me a little bit. Ooh, and that slime almost got me from behind. Looks like I need to heal again. Duck behind this pillar. Still, almost, I didn't get hit. Wow, that was crazy. It sounded like I got hit, but it didn't. Ooh, got the backstab. He's almost dead. Just finish him off with some two-handed hacking. And there we go, he's dead. Dark Spirit Knight Kirk was vanquished. About 5,500 souls. That's pretty good. Retrieve remaining power. Humanity acquired. I thought you used to get more than that from him, like the barbed straight sword, but I think you get it eventually. He is a repeat invader. He's a repeat invader. You have to know where he is, though, because you have to be human. So that's a good reason to be human, especially if you're offline. If you're offline, there's almost no negative for being human. If you're offline, you get to I mean, it depends. If you do you think getting invaded by NPC invaders is a bad thing? Well, you could stay cursed, or you could stay undead if you don't want that to happen to you. But you get stuff if you kill them, and I think it's fun. So also you get to summon NPCs for co-op during boss fights. So being human, I think, is the best way to go through the game if you're offline. If you're online, you can get invaded if you're human, so pick your poison kind of type deal. But you can also get help from other people, so it's a trade-off. But it might actually be easier to run through the game undead. You don't really lose anything except for help from NPCs and except for co-op. But you also won't get invaded by people. You also won't get invaded by NPCs. Yeah. So it's a trade-off. But when you're offline, I guess if you're offline and you don't want to get invaded by NPC invaders, then there you go. That's, a reason not to be human. But if you're about to fight a boss, try to be human so you can get help from the NPCs. But sometimes even the NPC help is more trouble than it's worth, because I think the boss gets more health if you summon an NPC for co-op. So any co-op situation, the boss gets more health. So sometimes it's not worth it. Like when you fight the Moonlight Butterfly, it's totally worth it, because the witch, or whatever her name is, she has ranged attacks and she can destroy the butterfly by herself. I think during the Iron Golem boss fight, if you do that summon, that guy can beat the boss by himself. But then in other times, like in other times you don't want to do it, because then they get extra health. Like the Four Kings, you can summon the same witch lady for that, and she's terrible against them, and it just gives them more health, and it's just a total waste. Look at that plunge, killed 2 of them. I almost get cursed like a bunch of times down here. I think the curse cloud has been nerfed, because I think I would have got cursed right there any other time. I need to read the changes. I need to read the changes between vanilla and this, because That seems different as well, and I've named several things that are different already. Because the curse cloud used to, like, you could not get by it almost without getting cursed. Like, if you ran straight through a dense cloud of smoke, you would get cursed. If it filled up the whole hallway, you could not get through. You would get cursed trying to run through it. And if you were in it at all, like right now, I'm not getting cursed. Why? Okay, now I am. Now I'm not, obviously. But, like right there, I probably should have got a little bit there. It just seems like they nerfed it a little bit. Like, I should be a little bit here. There we go. There it goes. It would go up way faster, too, I swear. I feel like I should have got some curse there, too. Like, I feel like they made the cloud smaller and less powerful. And the bar doesn't go up as fast. It's not like an instant thing, but it was pretty close. Especially if you stand right there. I should have got cursed. I was crapping my pants. Because if you get cursed, it's bad news. Bad news. You die, then you have half health until you get a purging stone. And I don't know, I think you can get one from Valencia, maybe one. But other than that, this game used to be so hard, dude. If you got cursed right when it came out, like I never played it right when it came out. It was like months later after they fixed this. But when it very, very first came out, you could get cursed. And there was no way to get a purging stone. And you would have to go to like New Londo and talk to the guy there to get uncursed, and it was like almost impossible to get to him. It was well, actually not, because you're cursed, so you can fight the ghosts. But most people didn't know that was where you had to go. It's hard to get to him. You got half health. You're fighting like ghosts in an area that's difficult, and it's not exactly like right in the. You have to get pretty far in to get to them. Like, it used to be almost impossible, and I don't remember. They changed it pretty early on because people were like getting stuck and not knowing what to do in the game, and getting really frustrated because they didn't know to go to that guy, and they couldn't figure out how to get uncursed, and they just thought it was part of the game or something. Like, oh, now it's super hard. Alright, looks like I think we killed all the basilisks. There's a hole here. It's hard to jump over, but you get a nice humanity, I think, if you do it. Just like kind of run around the corner and jump as soon as you turn the corner. And I fell down there on purpose just to see what's down here. But I think we got everything, which is pretty good. Like, I'm not 100% sure we got everything, but I think we did pretty good. So the only area that we didn't completely find all the items in so far, I think, is the catacombs. Because we cleared out Upper Undead Burg, we cleared out Lower Undead Burg, we cleared out the depths. And that's the only places we've been besides the catacombs, and I'm planning on going back there, so we'll clear it out when we go back. I mean, if you count the forest and the Darkroot Garden and stuff, but I don't even consider that yet, because we didn't, not like we beat the boss or anything. We're definitely going back there. But I don't know when. I'm kind of trying to think what we're going to do next. I think I might go back to the Asylum next. That way I have the Rusty Iron Ring for Blighttown, because I hate trudging around in that poison without that ring. And I probably should have had it before this place too, but it's not that big of a deal here. There's only like one spot where you're deep in water, and that's right by the butchers there. So, not a big deal, but maybe before you go down to Blighttown, like, I want to head in Blighttown this way, because I always like heading in Blighttown this way. Going in the back way is not as, I don't know. Going in the back way is not as fun, because it's not as hard. And you miss a bunch of items unless you backtrack. And, I don't know. We'll see. But, I think I'm going to go to the Asylum next, and then maybe, we'll see. And then go to Blighttown after that. And then after Blighttown, definitely want to kill Ceaseless and get our robe. But after that, I might do Darkroot and Moonlight Butterfly and Sif and everything. But we'll see, because I want that flippy ring. I want the flippy dippy ring. It's all about rings here, you know? Getting the rusty iron ring, the flippy dippy ring. But there's only 2 ring slots, and I got Havel's and the Ring of Favor and Protection. Like, which one am I gonna take off? It's gotta be Havel's. And I guess the flippy ring's worth it, as long, I don't know though, they might have nerfed it, for all I know. Here we summon Solaire, and the problem is that he needs to survive to continue the quest, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think he needs to survive, and that's kind of hard in this battle to have him survive. My scythe wasn't doing as much damage as I wanted it to. He was just like up in those guts, just getting pounded the whole time. I don't know how you win. This is a hard part. If this is mandatory to continue on with the quest, this is one of the hardest parts. To keep him alive in this battle. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to do it. You would have to rip. You would just have to blender this thing and just get all the attention on yourself. But this thing's not that hard, as long as you're not stupid. If you're stupid and like stay in its face and let it slam on you and jump on you and grab you and stuff, then yeah, it's hard. But as long as you're running around to its side and dodging its charge and baiting its charge and not getting hit by the tail. And you can cut his tail off too, and that really helps. Put the gold pine resin on. My thoughts were that usually bosses that have anything to do with water, are weak to lightning, right? And they're usually strong against fire. So I wanted to use fire. I bought all that charcoal pine resin, and we're supposed to be a Grim Reaper Pyromancer, but I was afraid if I used fire, it would not do much. Dragon King Great Axe. Another cool weapon that'd be good for a playthrough. And I don't know why I'm not hitting him here. I think he's doing a throw move. A grab move. On poor old Solaire, who's already got his face crushed in. And there's not much I can do about it here. I'm trying. Look how much that does, though. I was only doing 68. I don't know. I tried. He died. I guess the quest's over. It's over. It's no big deal. If you really, really badly want to continue the quest, you can bone out right now and just try again. Pretty sure. I think that spit used to curse too. But the way to beat this thing if you're by yourself is just to run. Run to the left, run to the right. Try to get it to charge. After it charges, you head around to its booty and you spank it. And just watch for the tail swipe, but if you cut off the tail, you don't have to worry about that. Right there, that charge right there. Perfect to punish. Especially if you stay close and you bait it. And you know that you're going to punish it. If you bait the charge and then you know that you're going to punish it, then you'll run right around and start spanking his hiney. But if you just happen to dodge his charge and happen to try to punish it, then you're gonna miss out on a couple damage opportunities. Watch out for this, like him slamming down. He can kill you with that, especially if you don't have as much health as me. His grab move, super dangerous, and his tail swipe. So there's a few things, like if he hits you, it's bad news, but he's really slow. And luckily I put that lightning back on. Should have done that immediately so I could try to save Solaire, but it didn't happen. I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna reset this whole battle just to keep, you know, Solaire. Running two-handed R2 is awesome. Just going to town, trying to finish him off. Used a lot of my gold pine resin, but we'll get more later. It's no big deal. I'll definitely save that one though for maybe like Quelaag, but we can get more later. No big deal. Looking cool already with our giant scythe and our sack on our face and our black leather armor with the standard chest piece, our grass crest shield, and now pyromancy. As soon as we put some of these souls into attunement. Trying to find the way out. I don't know. It's weird because there's two sets of stairs going, and I always forget there's two because they look exactly the same. Oh, and don't leave that channeler up here. If you remember when we killed that channeler down here that was dancing and near those big rats by the stairs in the fog wall, if you don't kill him and you try to fight this boss, he will be a nuisance. He'll power up the boss. He'll shoot projectiles at you while you're fighting the boss. Like, I've never had that happen, but I've heard it can happen. Like, I always make sure to kill the channeler. I've never tried it with the channeler alive. I should try that one day. It just seems so, like, ignorant to do if you already know not to do it. Well, yeah, let's level up, and we're about done. After this, I don't know, I might head into Blighttown to, like, the first bonfire, just to... I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. I'm thinking about either going to these... We're either going to go to the Asylum and get the, I think it's a Titanite slab and the Rusty Iron Ring. And then go to Blighttown, or we're just going to go to Blighttown first and not go to the Asylum and not worry about the Rusty Iron Ring. I don't know where else you would use it though. I'm trying to think. Maybe like the Great Hollow, like past that into the dragon area, maybe. Maybe in like Dark Root or where you fight the Hydra, maybe. Like, it's useful in a few spots, but you got to get it sooner than later. But yeah, got my attunement. So now we're gonna attune combustion because I have 16 uses. And then eventually we'll get another attunement slot and put the fireballs in there too. So now we're a pyromancer. Finally. Just gotta put my glove on. Which I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna put it. Am I gonna put it in this slot here and not have a shield on? I don't know. We'll see. I might switch the bow and arrow and the shield, but don't pay attention to me accidentally using the last gold pine resin. You didn't see that. And check out our new pyromancy. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, please like, share, subscribe. If you're still listening, you're awesome. Comment below. Let's talk about Dark Souls or Gems of War or anything. And consider hitting the join button under the description. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.